When will this uncertainty regarding Canadian student visa end? I don't know the answer to that, but what I can definitely tell you are the updates that the Canadian government has released. The updates that I'm going to share in this video are relevant to both the students who are yet in India, they have applied for their visa, and also the updates relevant to those students who have completed their education here and are now on their PGWP. Welcome to Bani Abroad. If you're new to this channel, then I make content on studying and settling abroad, which will give you an edge. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button right now. So I'm going to share 3 updates. The first one is the travel restriction. The second one is news for Jan Intake students. And the third one is for those students who have completed their education and who are currently on their PGWP. So there is a mixture of good and bad news. What do you want to listen to first? Let me tell you the bad news first so that we can just get done with that and then celebrate the good news. Let's start with the first update, which revolves around the travel restrictions. So the government of Canada has imposed new travel rules in order to control the cases of COVID coming from outside Canada. So they have taken more stringent actions, and let me tell you what those are. One part of this update is that they have stopped all flights going to sunny destinations because Canada, as you know, is a cold country and it's winter, so it's -10, -15 these days in Feb. And just a little update about the weather here. In December and January, it wasn't that cold, but starting February, even like 1-2 days ago, that is towards the end of January, it has been like -15 degrees, -10 degrees Celsius, so it's getting cold now. And people want to escape this and they are planning trips to sunny destinations like the Caribbean. So the government has suspended all the flights going to those sunny destinations. The second part of the update, which is actually bad for you, is that all the incoming international flights will be allowed to land only in one of these 4 regions, which are Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, or Montreal. So if you wanted to go somewhere else, some other province, then you can face a little trouble because you'll have to arrange your transportation from there to your destination. Now, the main bad part is that on your arrival, you'll also be required to take the COVID-19 PCR test, and until the results come out, which will take 3 days, you will have to stay at a hotel designated by the federal government, and all of this you will have to pay out of your own pocket. So what the earlier process was that people used to have their COVID test conducted in their own home country, and then they showed their negative report and their quarantine plan, and they just went to their quarantine destination. But now, since you have to live at a hotel, then you have to pay that money, and it has been estimated that this entire expense can amount to $2,000. So if the process wasn't this and they just followed their old process, then you could have saved on that money, because if you had relatives and you had a proper room there to isolate, you could have just lived there for free or maybe booked a cheaper accommodation. But since this is a hotel designated by the federal government, the charges would be fixed and you have to stay here irrespective that you have a cheaper accommodation, you have your relatives here. So that's why I feel that this part is bad, because this would lead to more expenses. Now, if your report comes negative, then that's good. You already stayed those 3 days at that hotel. Now you just have to stay those 11 days in quarantine and not additional 14 days. So in all, the quarantine period is 14 days, but those people who test positive, they'll have to extend their stay in the hotel itself. So make sure that you are following proper precautions, because God forbid if you test positive, one, it's extra tension. Second, you'll have to pay much more money when you land here in Canada. There's a third part to this update, and that is that people who are entering from the US border via land, they are also required to present a negative COVID test. So make sure that you take all the precautions so that you don't have to incur any extra expenses just because you are tested positive, because you didn't take those proper precautions. Now let's talk about Jan Intake. So I know that a lot of people have not received their passport request and instead they have gotten an AIP. And if you're already not aware why you have gotten that, then let me just tell you. So there are 3 conditions. One is that you submitted your application on or before December 15, 2020. Second is that your application is either missing your medical or biometrics because of COVID-19, that the centers near your location, they are closed. And the third condition is that your program begins in the winter 2021 intake, that is Jan intake. I know a lot of people are stuck in their home country, but this is good that you have gotten your AIP, because it means that 95 to 99% you would get your visa approved. It's just that you'll have to wait a little, and if you ask me till when, Honestly, I don't know, but I hope that it's as soon as possible. I've heard that now they'll start processing the backlog in bulk. It's not that they're not already doing it, but they'll just increase the pace. So let's hope that you get your passport request as soon as possible. And in order to enter Canada, you need to fulfill these two things. One is that your study permit must be approved, which is obvious. And the second condition is that you must be attending a DLI institution with the COVID readiness approved plan. So make sure that your institution is on the list. And even for people who are applying in the May intake, because we don't know till when this condition is going to persist, then make sure that when you are selecting your university or college, then that should be on that list. Also, before checking in at the airport, make sure that you fill in all the necessary information on your ArriveCAN app, and you have that electronic or paper receipt as well. Now, these two updates were for the students who are not yet in Canada, but the third update, which is for the people who are already in Canada, this is also important for those people because this will give you a ray of hope. So as you know, it's COVID and the job market is pretty uncertain, and you know that for your PR you have to gain work experience as well. It's good that if you are eligible right after your masters, but for most of the students they have to gain Canadian work experience in order to be eligible for one of the PR streams. And if they're not getting a job and their PGWP duration is decreasing day by day, then of course they are in danger because they'll have to go back to their home country, which is really sad because they spent a lot of money and invested their time in a foreign institute in a foreign country. So that's not fair, right? Because it's beyond their control. So the government of Canada has taken that into consideration. And of course, the economy runs on immigrants and it's a win-win situation for both the parties. But yeah, we are concerned about ourselves as well. So for students, they have extended the PGWP duration for those students who had their PGWP expiring on January 30 or after that. This thing has never happened before. And the thing is, now the students will be allowed to extend their PGWP, and that would be an open work permit, and the extension would be for another 18 months. So if recent graduates were not able to grab a job, and as a consequence of that they can't fulfill that work experience and they won't be eligible for PR, but now since this rule has been implemented, they have 18 additional months to fulfill that work experience and to get those additional points in order to be eligible for PR. So this is a great news. And now let me tell you who all would be eligible for this. So there are 3 conditions which are mandatory. Number first is they should have a PGWP that expired on or after January 30, 2020, or even a PGWP that expires in 4 months or less from the date of the application. The second condition is that they should be in Canada. And the third condition is that they should have a valid temporary status or they should be applying to restore their status. And the applications for this would be open from January to July 27, 2021. So these were the updates for today, and make sure that you're aware of everything that's happening because that's indirectly or directly going to affect you. And for that, you can subscribe to my channel because I will keep looking at the new updates and will make a video as soon as another one comes up. Also, if you're a prospective student who wants to study abroad and just chanced across this video, and if you're having trouble with your application, then don't worry, I can help you in that because I have my own consulting service Collegiado, so I can help you with the application, the SOP, resume, or your LOR. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description box as well as in the first comment, so you can get in touch with me through that. So if you like the video, do like it and subscribe to the channel, and also hit that bell icon. Until my next video, take care and stay happy. Bye.